all the people in the house today. So check it. Um, Anybody that is truly studying, truly tuned in to what's really going down, then you need to be in this private bankers class. Private bankers class is held 7 days of the week. It's a 2 hour class. 407 300 5377. It's given by the United States Private Enterprise Free State. There's 8 sections to this banking class, private bankers class, and most definitely you're coming out with all the tools that you need, because at this point in the game, I hate to tell you, you really need to not even waste your time on certain processes. The only thing that you really need to waste your time on is setting up your private bank and getting all the tools that you need to be successful as a private banker. And you can move on into your state or your international banking. That's up to you how you want to do it. But the initial, you must be in this private bankers class, because when things really do get funky on the funky side of it, where, certain organizations or institutions may not be up and running. And if they're not up and running, then that means that the card that is linked to your financial wealth has been shut down and deactivated, and they're gone with what was in that account. Okay, so basically, the only way to combat things of that nature that will tend to happen more so as you move into this digital quantum future of money and banking and financial institutions, you will definitely have to be the owner of everything dealing with your bank. So, private bankers class, it's held 7 days of the week, my people. 407 300 5377. So if you caught some of the other lives that I did, they're about to go down, because I only leave a live up for a certain amount of time, because basically, you know, that's what it's all about. You want to know the information? You call up the United States Private Enterprise Free State, get enrolled in this 2 hour class for yourself. Block out your 2 hours of time that you will be available, and we will teach you what you need to know within those 2 hours, step by step, hands on. You are involved in everything you do, and no one knows your business but you. So call 407 300 5377. Private bankers class, okay? Because it's going to be how it has always been, for bankers only. So the banker takes all. So if there's somebody over your money and it's not leading back to your name, then you need to be in this private bankers class. Okay. If you don't have the certain tools and your negotiable instruments are getting rejected, then you need to be in this class, this private bankers class. Why use certain types of printers? To ensure ease of processing your negotiable instruments. If negotiable instruments are not processed through the proper printers and the right ink, then they cannot be processed internationally through any machine that accepts the currency for your state. So, a special process is necessary to be compliant with the regulations. Failure to include this and using traditional printers could expose you to fraud issues or bank rejection fees. So, a lot of people who have been getting, negotiable instruments rejected, that's one major reason. You have not followed the regulations and the guidelines and have made your state compliant for your negotiable instruments and currency to be accepted on any market. That is what this private bankers class definitely focuses in on, is what we just dropped right now. You need to have yourself in this private bankers class. 407 300 5377. So my people, if people are really not understanding their rules and their rights as a private banker, then they can never be compliant with the system. So if you don't believe that you have to become compliant with the state that you're going to be doing business in, which is foreign to your state, then how are you going to get your currency accepted? So these are questions that are answered in the private banking class. Okay, you know, what's the difference between commodity money, full-bodied money, fiat, fiduciary money, animal money? What is the job of money? That's what bankers must know. We have to know about all of these things because that's in the private bankers class. You come out with all those tools in your toolbox as a private banker. Now, when you're moving into the state, the international, on those levels, that's a whole nother ball game. But the initial is private banking. And it's not walking over to the other side of the bank because now you have $1 million. That's a bunch of bullshit unless you have the proper tools already, that your documents, when you walk into a bank and you hand the representatives, those trustees of that bank or brokers of that bank to handle that negotiable instrument, they normally, when they take it in the back, they're taking it in the back to see if the instrument is commercially compliant to the rules and the regulations of the entire banking system, even dealing with the SEC. So your negotiable instrument has to have everything already run through the system before you even walk into a bank. And you would have to have already have filed all your entitlement papers and ownership papers over that vessel, that property, that institutional, that bank. Everything has to be done on that negotiable instrument, which is readable worldwide, straight up. If it is not done like that, then you will probably run into issues with the system reading and processing your command of a negotiable instrument, because everybody has the command and the right to present a negotiable instrument when they are no longer, you know, taking all, you can't even say it's a benefit or a handout, because everybody has that benefit in, it's already pre-programmed into the system, that it's already charged to that person that was born under that birth certificate number that is partially a CAF number that, if you understand everything right, it all links up. So certain organizations, depending on the type of business that you're going to do, can set up the account number. There's other ways about going around getting your routing number, and it's a routing number. It's not an EIN number where people are using EIN numbers as routing numbers, and it's not going to fly, straight up. If it's in the system one way for one company and it's a routing number, it's an EIN number because it's coming out of a system as an EIN number. So now you're trying to use an EIN number as a routing number. So when you go to make the transaction and you wonder why the transaction doesn't go through, it's because that's not the proper routing number, because it was an EIN number. So bottom line is that this private banking class is going to give you everything that you need to get your documents, everything done professionally, the right way, and on the books. United States Private Enterprise Free State, 407-300-5377. This is the leaders in private banking. Okay, we're already there. Okay. Yes, there are ways to tap into your Mortemain account, but now it's like, okay, if you tapped into that, the bottom line is now you got to do what you got to do to completely self-govern, because you have to create your own currency. So anybody that's creating their own currency right now, kudos to you. Don't stop. Get into this private bankers class, get the rest of the tools that you need right now to get that currency in circulation. Okay, you got people that already have their currencies in circulation because they have already taken the steps. The only way that you even come to the steps that you're going to learn in this private bankers class is because you took the steps to self-govern, meaning you have set up your own state. You have a court, okay? You have a post office. You have your court, your post office, your judge. You have all of these other things set up. You have to have all that set up along now come on in. We do a judge class. We do a secured party class. We give the private bankers class. Then we also give the we got the secured party class. We got this the private bankers class. We got the judge class, and we got the postmaster class. So all classes, each 4 of those classes are 2 hours long. So right now, I would highly recommend people to take this private bankers class, because basically a lot of people really don't have time left. And the ones that do have these tools now and are getting these tools because they have taken this private bankers class already, they're already gathering their tools that they're going to need, because you may have to end up going to some of these people that have already come out of this class. One, because they're already going to be set up with what they need. And you may have to set up where everything, you might have to have your whole power plug for solar, your whole power plug generator, however you're going to do it. Because if you're on the move, you're going to have all your machinery is movable. It has to move with you. because you never know who you're going to be traveling to, where this is instant, it's right on the spot, yada. They need the documents pronto. And that's what we do. If you need these documents pronto, we got you. 407-300-5377. Okay. United States Private Enterprise Free State, Private Bankers Class. Okay. Judge class, secured party class, postmaster class. Each class is 2 hours long. Each class is $100. So I highly recommend the private bankers class right now, because these are the tools that you will need to survive the next fucking 10 years. And you need these tools to even survive the next motherfucking 1 year. So if you think that I'm not knowing what I'm saying, yo, you need to do your own research. I dropped a whole lot for you right in the beginning where you can research it yourself. But basically, you need a hands-on on being taught this real quick. It's only 2 hours. It's hands-on. You're going to learn everything that you need to know. And, it's hands-on, so you can't forget because you're going to be doing it right then and there. So my people, fiduciary money is backed up by trust between the payer and the payee. So whoever the payer is and the payee, that fiduciary money is between those two. If you have a bank, third party commercial bank, that you're trying to get this done through, then, there's one group on YouTube that if you watch their process, they got it done, they got it through, but it took that last piece of information that a lot of people failed to have that piece of information. If a lot of people had that final piece of information, they probably would have gotten a lot of their instruments, their negotiable instruments probably would have went through. Look, a deposit account for the principal is also fiduciary money. Anybody can be a fiduciary. So anybody can be a fiduciary. And commodity money is based on the material it was manufactured with, such as gold or silver. It does have intrinsic value. Checks, banknotes, and drafts. 120 to 300 an hour is how much you can make. Just being a fiduciary, commodity fiduciary. The hardest money to travel with is commodity money, because it's much more heavier. Gold and silver to carry it around in your pocket, that's heavy. So that's why a lot of people, putting their gold onto a card straight up. Private purpose trust funds and agency funds. Those are also commodity money. Private purpose trust funds and agency funds. So people, you got to know what the job of money is. Job of money is to store, value, unit of account, and medium of exchange. So you want to be the currency controller. You want to be the currency controller of your state all the time, because the currency controller is the highest of the state that signs off on for the state to receive and release any money. That's the currency controller. And other places it's called the comp controller. But for us, we are the currency controllers. So fiat, has no intrinsic value. It's based on public faith in the issuer. So whoever issues fiat is basically, they're giving it to you on faith. It's a promise to pay whatever. It's backed by order. It's backed by order or authority of the government. So it's public faith in the issuer, backed by order or authority of the government. So whatever their government is, that's what they back it by, the full faith and credit of their government. So if the United States has not been paying nobody back but a W-2, then what makes you really think you're going to get something out of a trust and they will tell you, oh, there's nothing in it, or you haven't transferred credits there, or it's always some type of excuse. They'll keep sending you an excuse upon excuse. Basically, the bottom line is that any account that you really are setting up with them, they're already taking it. On the other side of the ledger, whatever it is, they times it times 200. They have created money for themselves off of still the live, off of the person from the BC who is the principal, because anything in their system is based off the principal. Without the principal, you can't get an EIN number, you can't get nothing. So the bottom line is that if you don't get into this private bankers class, you will stay in the loop of how they're going to say frivolous this, frivolous that, or we need more information. We need another 30 days. We need another 60 days. We need another 90 days. Some cases, they'll even say 120 days. So, you know, the name that we won't mention, that third party that sits between we and the Treasury, we are the Treasury. So, um, that if somebody has hired a company to be a third party between you and the Treasury, that means the Treasury has already been hijacked. So you need to really start thinking, is there any really substance there, any property there really left of the land that they would have not have spent on creating their own? And then the bottom line is, you really don't know. And a lot of people chase it and find out there's nothing left. So now they have to go back, start from scratch of building their own shit. And that's where the private bankers class comes in. 100%. You need to get yourself signed up, enrolled into this private bankers class. 407 300 5377. That's the bottom line. If you're not a private banker, and you think that's like you're laughing at it, well, you can laugh on, but that's how business is done. Everything is banking. Without the accounting, there is no you, because how you got here was through a one and a zero. Without that one and that zero, there would not have been another digit to go along with that. Therefore, private bankers, y'all need to get into this private bankers class. 407 300 5377 is going down. We have results, we get results. Well, they say that it's going to be somebody's doing a demonstration tomorrow, March 11th. They're supposed to be taking their fiduciary money into Walmart, all of the other stores, and start spending. So we have to see how their demonstration goes. All we can say is that if their demonstration stays good, unrebutted in the system for 120 to 180 days, then their fiduciary money will be law on the books. So if they don't get any acquiescence, any pushback, anybody saying that this is fraudulent and, yada, 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 what they like to say, if they get no rebuts and is complete acquiescence on this, then kudos to the people that are doing that demonstration, which means that private banking is the only way to secure your wealth and prosperity right now. 407 300 5377. On that note, I am out.